every level of Farming Simulator 25. Explained. Level 1, the total noob. The guy who doesn't even know you have to unfold the seeder. He jumps into the game, sees this massive, beautiful world, and 2 minutes later, total chaos. What am I supposed to do? Why isn't this moving? Why won't the harvester harvest? A new player thinks it's a sandbox, so they try everything at once. They buy sheep so they don't feel lonely and then wonder why they all died. Wait, that's impossible, right? They don't realize that every crop, every animal, every factory is its own story, with its own rules and built-in disasters. Technically, there is a tutorial, but let's be honest, who actually starts it? Because of course, I'll figure it out myself. And they do, all the way to level 2. Level 2, the borrower. He takes out a loan before earning a single dollar. 3 days later, he's selling his tractor just to pay it back. Classic. It's that phase where you feel like a farming tycoon. You've got $100,000 in the bank and a vision. Next week, you'll buy a second farm, a factory, maybe even some cows. The problem is this isn't GTA. There are no bank heists or mysterious goods in trailers. Here, a tractor is earned the real way, slowly, painfully, and with a loan on your back. So what does the new player do? They see leasing and think, free money. Suddenly there's a brand new seeder on the yard, a tractor that can barely pull it, and payments that never seem to end. Everything's fine until it's time to return the machine. And then comes that feeling, no way I'm going back to that old junk, I'll sell it, I'm keeping the big one. And boom, the debt spiral begins. Because hey, they're about to strike gold, right? Just one more harvest, one more season, one more lease. If you don't want to end up like him, check out my economy series, where I've calculated everything from crops and animals to factories and forests. But if you'd rather experiment and drown in debt, congratulations, you've just reached level 3. Level 3, the cheater. Once the elite, now a relic, the guy who doesn't want to be a farmer, but a minister of finance. These days, you can start with $1 million in the bank, lease any harvester you want, and enjoy the ultimate test drive fantasy. But back in the day, if you wanted to see what a class election looked like, you had to add a few zeros to the game files yourself. That was the very first mod in history. Control plus S and boom, you're a billionaire. Some did it to test equipment, others just like the look of an endless bank balance. Because let's be honest, Farming Simulator has never been a simple game. Brands, models, horsepower, working with, operating style, and yet most of us still bought the tractor that just sounded nice or had cool headlights. The only issue? Those tests cost money. And when your leasing budget runs out and you don't want to start a new save just to check something out, those extra zeros in the file start looking very tempting. The problem is some players never move past this level. They start with just testing and end up with $1 billion in the account and no goal left. Because if you already have everything, what's the point of playing? And that's how the cheater's paradox is born. Absolute freedom, zero motivation. Everything works, but nothing's fun anymore. And that's when the thought appears, maybe I should try earning that billion honestly. Which means you've just reached level 4. Level 4, easy money. He knows everything about canola prices but can't reverse a trailer. The kind of guy who opens Excel before launching the game. Every farming simulator had its own gold rush. Once it was canola, then soybeans, and today silage, the good old shortcut to quick cash. Even if in Farming Simulator 25 it's not as overpowered as it used to be, it still gives that same feeling. Look mom, my first million. It's the honest man's cheat. Money's flowing in, the farm's expanding, and you feel like you're really progressing. Nobody can accuse you of cheating. Technically, you did everything yourself. Well, almost everything. Because with greenhouses, you just pour some water once in a while, and the rest takes care of itself. You can even enable auto-selling, sit back, and watch the money roll in. Although, is that really different from cheating? Because instead of adding zeros in the save file, you're just fast-forwarding time. And if you place a water well or a rice field nearby, you've basically turned your farm into a money printer. Literally. This is the level of players who discovered that farming isn't hard work, it's business. A business perfectly modeled in Excel. And yes, some people live in that world permanently, only changing maps every few months just to stay sane. But for most, it's just a transitional phase, because after a while, even easy money gets boring. And that's when the thought appears. Maybe it's time for something more ambitious? Welcome to level 5. Level 5, the animal farmer. When you're tired of watching the money counter climb on its own thanks to greenhouses, it's time to deal with life itself. Literally, because when harvesting fields and dumping crops straight from the trailer gets old, and prices stay as frozen as your old tractor in the mud, animals suddenly feel like a breath of fresh air. They add a new stage between fieldwork and profit. Finally, something's happening. The farm starts to feel alive. For realists, this is paradise daily chores. Feeding, cleaning, tending, exactly the kind of work nobody really wants to do, but everyone pretends to enjoy. Of course, in practice, you just fill the troughs once and you're good for a week. But that's not what this level is about. A true breeder steps into the pen just to check something, and 3 hours later realizes he's just finished building a new barn. The most realistic animal in the game, the horse. You have to feed it, brush it, and ride it regularly. Skip that, and its value drops faster than your FPS on a map with 4,000 cows. Chickens, on the other hand, are pure nonsense. You dump some grain, walk away, and when you come back, puff, pallets of eggs magically appear. That's not breeding, that's industrial production. It's a shame they removed manual egg collecting, that one tiny detail that made us feel like real farmers, not managers of some automated chicken empire. But despite all the absurdities, I don't know a single player who hasn't at least tried taking animal farming seriously. It's a rite of passage like your first loan or your first cow that escaped from the pen. And while many players stay here for a long time, some feel the urge to move on. Not to animals, not to silage, but to factories. And that's exactly where level 6 begins. Level 6, the farm manager. This is the moment when you stop being a farmer and start running a corporation. Every cow has its own schedule. Every field has its own Excel sheet. Your farm is thriving. Multiple barns, dozens of animals, different types of feed, your own production lines and logistics network. Sounds like a dream until you remember who's actually doing most of the work. The workers. And well, they're the Achilles heel of this game. With every new farming simulator, they're supposedly getting better, but they can still drive you mad faster than a corrupted save file. Back in the day, it went like this. You pressed H and the worker started plowing diagonally across the field, as if trying to leave behind his signature. Today, you open the menu, assign him to a task, and he really does start driving on his own. But a moment later, worker stopped because something is blocking the way. And what's there? Grass. Just grass. Or he just quits working altogether because apparently he no longer feels fulfilled in this career. Sure, you can fix that with mods, but without them, they still can't make bales, harvest grapes, and always find a way to ruin your day at the worst possible moment. At this level, you need nerves of steel. You don't panic when something breaks, you just jog over, fix the route, and pretend that was your plan all along. And once you finally master the workers, comes the production chain. Factories, deliveries, raw materials, semi-finished goods, a logistics puzzle so complex it makes Euro Truck Simulator look like a relaxing spa game. This is the level for players who can automate everything. Every minute is scheduled, every machine has a role, and your account balance glows with zeros. The only problem, when everything runs perfectly, there's no chaos, no surprises, just perfection and boredom. And then there's only one step left, the final stage. The ultimate level where the line between game and reality starts to blur. Level 7. Level 7. The Mod Lover. The highest rank. And yes, it even has sub-levels. Let's start with the Legend. Sub-level 1, the Realist. These are the players who install every single mod that boosts realism even by 0.5%. Manual attachment, realistic fuel and oil systems, seasons with actual penalties. And then there are the monsters, the ones who rebuild the entire animal system so that livestock can simply vanish from the barn when you mess something up, just like in real life. Sounds beautiful, right? But fair warning, if you try this while still at level 1, you'll uninstall the game faster than you installed it. For those brave enough, I've got full mod lists for realism lovers on my channel. Go check them out. Sub-level 2, the Unrealist. Here, physics goes on vacation. Seeders longer than your entire field. No collision because otherwise they wouldn't fit through the village. You clear a field in minutes, and yes, people really play like that. It's absurdly satisfying. Want to try it? I've got a list for that too. Play however you like, it's your farm. Sub-level 3, Total Drift. Mods that turn Farming Simulator into a simulator of anything. Full-on firefighting systems, putting out fires, rescuing cats from trees. I'm not kidding, it exists, and it works. And that's the magic of level 7. The realist wants to feel the sweat, the unrealist wants to feel the power, and the total drift player, they just want to feel the fun. Each one plays right as long as they're enjoying themselves. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment and tell me which level you're on or what sub-level you'd add yourself. And if you prefer numbers over opinions, check out the economy series on screen right now where I break down profits step by step. Subscribe and see you soon.